welcome back. We're on week 6. Yes, week 6 right now, and I'm very privileged to be joined on cast tonight by Diamond.
Good evening, everyone.
hello.
I will be co-casting.
Excited
Oh my God, what
in
is
the
going
EAL
on?
playoffs. We've got playoffs, right?
Yes,
Coming
yes.
up, right? That's
This
what I
time
said.
around we
That's
actually
what
got
I said.
playoffs.
I didn't lie. I didn't make the mistake 17 times last stream thinking it was a single round robin format rather than a double round robin format, and said a bunch of stupid stuff about teams qualifying for playoffs and qualifying for those important top 2 slots. I totally didn't make a huge mistake last time.
Could never be
but
you.
If you think about it, the second round robin is sort of like a mini playoffs to a certain extent. Like, if you don't think about it that much, it's sort of alright.
Well, I mean, yeah. you could view it that way.
Okay, but for real, tonight we have just a sweet pair of matches coming up. Both of them featuring one of the top 2 teams of Group A. First match, it's Invicta versus Goats for Hire, who actually do have playoff stakes this match. I'm not lying this time. Being 1-9 at the moment, I think the only win being against Lockout. They really need to find a win here, but it's going to be a bit difficult against the tied top first team. But you know what? If you need a miracle to win, you might as well make it the first win the most miraculous, right? Like, because I think they kind of have to beat everyone anyway to make playoffs, or almost everyone. So you might as well start.
At their current standings, I think they have to beat everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
To make the playoffs.
Well, if you got to beat everyone, starting with your toughest opposition in some ways is the best. And second match of the night, we've got Invicta coming up against Manasteer. That's a bit later on. Once again, Invicta also tied at that 8-2 slot, first place in that Group A. Both of them should be exciting. I mean, first one maybe a little bit less. It is going to take a bit of a miracle.
Well, technically, this is the first game of the evening since, I think it was Tribal had to forfeit their game against Lost Nation because of a time crunch. So, yeah, we were actually supposed to have 2 Lost Nation games tonight. Now there's only one. They will be with a different mid laner this time around since Rickard has... Oh, what? Oh, I just got a message. They are playing now. So they just didn't have time to play it on stream, I guess. Well, that is my mistake in this case. I just got ready for the draft from one of the teams. Question is the other team also already... Oh, wait. Just realized something.
We should be heading in very shortly into draft. But yeah, obviously in terms of power picks, I was watching the LEC before this, as I'm sure many of you were.
Oh yeah.
So I'm thinking Kai'Sa. Obviously, Static Shiv has been nerfed. Hasn't had the DMAT nerf yet, so still can one-shot those waves. LeBlanc, very strong. Rel, another champion that's incredibly strong. Ivan's also strong. No one's picking him because they're cowards, and I'd like to see an Ivan picked up. And something that made me smile was seeing a Seraphine in the LEC, because it reminded me of my good old home. We had quite a few Seraphine enjoyers in the EAL, and if it's good enough to get picked on the pro stage, it's probably good enough to get picked here. So I'd like to see that.
Okay, we are in draft, and already the first bans are coming out. Lux and Fiddlesticks taken off the board. I'm pretty sure that's targeted towards specific players, not because it's strong in the meta right now.
I mean, Fiddlesticks, I think, maybe isn't strong in the meta, right? Like, people aren't playing him. I think this champion is very strong if well piloted, so... Apparently, there's been some technical issues. Maybe, we'll see. Cross your fingers it'll keep going. Samira ban coming out. If that is a bit of a technical ban down towards the bot laner here for Goats for Hire, then... taking the Samira off the board, the sort of champion that you can one-trick in, and it's very, very much the Yasuo of ADC if it's not Yasuo down there, right? So taking that off the board makes a lot of sense, I think. Mordekaiser, banned out. maybe looking for an Ornn prior pick up here for Lost. Not for Lost. I guess this is why I'm looking at the league line. For
We are gonna have to have a restart, it seems. With some technical issues. Just gonna redo the draft real quick. So we got
and I will take a sip of my cup of tea.
like a real British person.
Yeah, it's good. It's good shit. Sorry, tea is delicious, and I think it needs. I can understand why we conquered the entire
World?
Asian peninsula for it. But
At some
besides
point?
besides the point,
Yes.
I want to see. What these teams have been brewing, you know, because I want a nice, not marinated, properly steeped draft. You know, here. I mean, obviously, as I said, goats for hire. They're kind of goats coming up against the bull, and I don't know if you've seen those two animals. You probably have at some point. But bulls are trays big. Goats are basically just smaller bulls, right? But they're crafty. Mountain goats can climb up mountains in a way that bulls cannot. And goats for hire do have a couple of mountains to climb. They've got to be crafty. They've got to come out with something a little bit unconventional, because I think it's quite unlikely, especially against a team like Invicta, you're going to be skill gapping these lanes. So maybe these unconventional picks, like the Samira, like the Lux Caitlyn that got banned out, right? Taken off the board, is what they need to look for in this draft. We're going to be starting again just a second.
I like listening to your your comparison between bulls and goats right there. But okay, we actually gonna start drafting now, it seems. Lux ban coming out again. This time not an Illaoi, but actually like not the Fiddlesticks, but the Illaoi.
That makes more sense. If you can't ban, then you don't ban the champion you want to ban. So Fiddlesticks, yeah, not going to be able. Is going to be able to get through. Maybe wasn't that targeted pick. Illaoi though. I mean, you've seen Adam on Darius if you watch the LEC at any point, but especially today. That champion is pretty strong. So banning out the Mordekaiser as well, these top fire, just like hard bruiser champions, maybe to provide a little bit of safety up there. And it's actually Invicta that choose to ban out the Fiddlesticks for themselves, taking off Samira and Lux as before. Kog'Maw
No
banned
Kog'Maw.
out. Kog'Maw
Bless.
It is one of those very strong bot lanes, along with a
Milio.
champion like Milio. Locked in. This champion is disgusting. Pair it with the Lucian. You can pair it with the Ashe as well. Triforce build seems really, really strong at the moment. Still has not been hit by that nerf that's coming through. It's not even that much of a nerf. Ashe Milio, the extra range on your Ashe. Ashe has like the second highest auto range in the game, by the way, just behind Caitlyn. So
she has 600. That is incorrect.
It's like the second highest.
No,
okay.
The second highest is Annie, 625. And Caitlyn is 650.
It's one of the second highest. Okay, it's the third highest. It's very, very high. Is my point.
Yes.
Right. With what podium finish? Who gives a damn? If Garen and Malphite have been locked in, you know, I don't want to make any, you know, cliche jokes about champions from lower elos, but
no, this is a rock. The goats are throwing rocks at the bull.
Look, I think. If you, and I don't mean this to be mean to the goats, if you think it's unlikely you're going to be able to skill check the enemy champion, why not skill check them instead with Garen Malphite, right? Lucian, as a shorter range AD carry, obviously pairs up quite well with Milio, appreciates having that extended range, appreciates being enchanted, a bit less now, post the changes, as that's a Renekton locked in, unafraid of going
either, I'm gonna assume that's either a Malphite mid lane then, or a Garen. I guess Garen jungle works. I'm kind of torn on this, because you could both flex them, or you could even go with the Malphite bot lane, like as an.
It could be a Malphite support.
Oh my god, we are keeping we are keeping the team theme.
Bronzonia coming through here for Goats for Hire. Now, all we need to see is Namumu and a Blitzcrank, and they've won the game already, right? I think that's like, you're playing TFT, you've just hit your 5 feet, you've hit your fucking prismatic Bronzoid comp here. But once again, another low execution champion, perhaps. Okay, maybe less so with the Warwick. That champion actually does have a lot of mechanical nuances, right? With
Yes, but in the end, he just presses Q and R and auto attacks.
You can press Q and R. And your E. You have to push your E now.
Oh, right, right.
But yeah, very much...
Kindred
Well,
ban.
first of all, it's 3 melee champions here for Goats for Hire. Maybe they're looking to pick up a Sejuani jungle here on 4. It would do a good job of denying into the Renekton, and Echo Kindred are champions that are stereotypically seen as good into these tank jungles. So maybe a Sejuani on R4 here could be very, very strong for Goats for Hire.
There it is.
There it is. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. That does also make me ask some questions.
Yes. I think we have the same question here. Where do any of these champions go?
Malphite Yasuo bot lane. Warwick mid, Garen jungle.
Garen Yuumi bot lane?
Ooh, that would be terrible. Please don't pick that. I don't want to think about that. Actually, it's less good now that Yuumi is much more focused around getting the auto attacks off, much more focused around giving mana as well with Hurry. Garen doesn't benefit from any of that. Meanwhile, yet another
Trundle.
I think these two comps are actually very similar. It's just like the Goats for Hire comp is the essence of the Invicta comp, because the Invicta comp is still very much a beat your head against. I'll talk about the Casio in a second, because that's a devastating pick. But it's very much a beat your head against it comp, right? You got Milio, Lucian, Renekton, Trundle. They just want to dash on you, whack on you. But Cassiopeia can play a lot of zone control against these 4 melee champions. Sivir is locked in, which means it's probably going to be a Malphite support, I think.
I assume so.
Mid lane, Garen top. That's what I'm thinking. But Sivir, obviously one of those ADCs with the on the hunt, can just enable these champions that want to run at you to run at you. I think this might be an insane statement to make, but I kind of like the Goats for Hire comp. I think into the Invicta comp, it's nuts. I think Lucian is one of the more mobile AD carries, but is also one of the shorter range mobile AD carries, obviously mitigated somewhat by Milio. Renekton is going to be miserable this game. Just 3 people are going to be whacking on him when he dives in. Trundle's going to have a decent time. Cassiopeia, though, I think is the most crucial member for the Invicta lineup, if only because that Miasma is going to have so much value into the Malphite, into the Warwick, into the Garen, and the Sejuani. These melee champions having to trudge through that huge AoE slow, having to walk face first into your petrifying gaze. However, I do respect this Goats for Hire comp. I respect it a lot. I'm just not sure it's.
Well, there's a ton of stats going into that comp.
That's true. That's true.
Like there is everything that you get armor, you get true damage, max health as well, execute. You get movement speed from the Sivir. We got a ton of stuns from the Sejuani. And I feel like, I mean, all of these champions are basically stacking armor except for Sivir. And it's gonna be very hard for the Lucian to get through. I think, as you already said, that Cassio will be a very, very crucial asset of Invicta in this case. Because not only is she the only AP source, but also has like all of the abilities to kite and also deny Goats for Hire's comp. Overall.
Yeah, very true. But it does mean if they do get on the Casio, depending on how many cooldowns they blow, because it's always a game of numbers, right? It's a game of how many. Like, I'm sure if you commit 5 ultimates onto the Casio, you will be able to kill her. But then you've got to deal with the rest of the team without any of those ultimates. So if they can find a pick onto the Casio with something like some stuff before, maybe a sniped Warwick, or infinite duress from Warwick. Or even like a bolus coming out from Sejuani. Because there are actually a lot of press and go engage tools here for Goats for Hire as well, right? There are ways to make it onto the Casio, are ways to make it onto the Lucian. I think no matter what, it's going to be a fun game, right? Even if, everything is on the line here for Goats for Hire, they're coming out swinging, I'll tell you that much. They're swinging maybe a sock with a bag of, with a bunch of pennies in it, right? It's not It's not anything. They're hitting you with a stick. They are the barbarians of League of Legends at the moment, I'd say.
Yes, except for the Sivir.
Except for the Sivir, but the Sivir is like, you know, she's supporting the barbarians, so she's enabling them. It's totally fine. But yeah, they've really got to come out with something against Invicta here. Are we going to be heading to a quick break while we wait for spectator delay to tick through?
Yes, indeed.
Indeed.
Just about to set that up. Real quick, we
All
are
right,
gonna
no worries.
go into
All right,
a short
chat,
break.
what do you think? I just want to know what you think of the comp, because I think the only way to describe the Goats for Hires comp here is based. And even if they don't win a single game versus a team that doesn't forfeit, they've got another fan. I'll tell you that much. I respect them so much for running this competition. So we'll have to see if they can make it work, make the dance happen, or if they're gonna end up losing their final chance at playoffs in just a little bit. But for now, we are going to be heading into a break very shortly. Catch you.
Later.
Are you ready?
Yes.
On the other side. Everyone, and welcome on to the Rift for the first of 2 games tonight. It's all or nothing for the Goats. It's Invicta's chance to to maybe take the lead over Lost Nation. I still am in awe of this comp. The Ignite on the Garen as well, just a chef's kiss. The Ignite on the Sejuani as well, the chef's cherry, the cherry on top, Sejuani support. I don't know if they're going to win, but much like Scully in the X-Files, I want to believe, man. I want to believe in this team comp so damn badly. And I do want to point out as well, skin synergy in the bot lane. So actually, it's already over. The Goat's going to take this win, clearly. I think there's no hope for Invicta.
So actually, we have solved the riddle that was the positions now. So we're gonna have the Malphite in the mid lane, laning into the Cassio. Garen, of course, going top lane. No Garen jungle for us. And Sejuani will take the
Oh.
support role. Meanwhile,
In the bot lane, there's already a gank happening here on to Sejuani from the Trundle. Not able to make anything happen, trying to stop the Confidence tracks before anything goes on. But yeah, unable to find anything. Doesn't even force out a Summoner spell. Very lucky there for the for the Goats side.
Malphite's lane is going about as expected.
Yeah, just getting perma shoved in, right? The range advantage of Cassiopeia makes it so hard for Malphite, especially at level 1, right? To do absolutely anything at all about it. Also, you can see there the power of Lucian Milio. With a wave like this, it's also impossible for the Goat spot lane to like hope to step up. This crashing wave was caused by the Raz gank, even if you didn't get any summons. Able to find, this push. Maybe even allow the bot lane to look for an early reset as Starzu tanks up an unnecessary turret shot, but Raz looking to try and get stuff set up on the other side of the map, but Funko dropped quite low. Pillow though, yet to be used, slow down, Scooper 360, gonna get scooped up, gonna get bit down, flashing away, flash followed, Raz picks up that first blood.
Meanwhile, it seems Warwick has burnt his flash on the Cassio. Seems to have traded flashes. Malphite taking heavy punishment into that Cassio, of course, but low on mana.
And I mean, I can understand Roach looking for that flash for flash, trying to get something on the opposite side of the map. It was a flash for flash in the top lane as well, of course. So, but Raz having a few more early ganking tools as the Trundle, because that pillar is so damn powerful. Also, one of the highest base AD champions in the game when you, I think actually no, the highest base AD champion in the game when you account for their Q. Maybe it only works out mass wise if you count the attack damage that's taken away.
Yeah, well, because it depends on, doesn't it? Isn't that like a percentage?
It removes a flat amount of damage.
Oh, it's flat. Okay.
So it's flat. Yeah, I think the AD differential makes them like, on the technicality, the highest AD apart from Mega Gnar, of course, but that's cheating. So obviously a lot more lethal in these trades than this Warwick. His jungle has now just been slightly warded out by Sarzu here. Getting that deep vision down, spotting out these gank paths, because Roach really wants to hit level 6, so denying him any sort of cheese gank opportunity before that, it's going to feel pretty big. But now looking towards this mid lane, Burger Kingslayer
doesn't know
aggressively,
and there goes the Warwick, and he has no flash.
There. Kill goes out.
Throws out the ignite, not enough damage yet to kill the Malphite there. Also, we remember we already traded flashes earlier.
But I do want to point out, despite dying in mid lane, can we have a look at the gold, please? Just press X. Yep, still 200 gold ahead just because of that massive CS differential there. Sneaky Chef looking for the engage though on bot lane, forced to flash out when Raz the Kindred once again influencing this matchup. But here you see the issue with running these champions like Malphite, running these champions like even the Sejuani support into the Lucian Milio. You will end up falling behind on CS versus these range matchups, right? You'll end up being forced off wave, and now that's a nasty freeze for last impressions in the bot lane.
We're gonna have a look at that.
Or at least it should be not. I don't know why that.
They have decided to push it out.
They don't want it. They don't want to take the nasty freeze when they have It's fine. It's fine. I guess Sivir could actually farm with a Boomerang Blade, but just trying to get prior there as well, I think, is a justifiable choice, especially with Raz starting up on the streak. It's very easy to take these neutral objectives when there's such permanent prior in the mid lane for Burger Kingslayer, right? As we mentioned, doesn't have a lost chapter complete yet. We'll have it complete on the next pack just because of how cheap that item is now, no matter what happens. Though level 6 will be coming in for Cozy Crab soonish, which is, once again, an opportunity you can use to make a play. There it is, just dinged over. Can perhaps look for something onto Burger Kingslayer. Obviously, has to be very careful of Raz the Kindred being in the area because it's your only engage on a Malphite, but it's also basically your only escape. Up in the top lane, bit of a duel going on here. Scooper, just pushing back Funkle, does have the level advantage after that. After dying on the gank. That's not something you see very often. I guess Scooper, despite not having teleport, still getting the better of Funkel in these trades. Doing a great job of it.
I'm
Perhaps
actually surprised that there's like he's down both CS and XP, even though the Renekton has the teleport. So
Yeah.
there's some major zoning going on.
I think that's just Garen gaming, baby. Not much you can do about that. Does Q the minion,
Indeed.
but Roach looking for a gank. Flash out. I think you're just going to be happy with getting that summoner spell. Or maybe you aren't going to be happy. You're going to be begrudging about it because you still aren't making the sort of progress that when you have this sort of zug run at them comp needs to, right? You don't have that first Drake. You're not looking to set up around Herald. Raz the Kindred obviously doing much more on the map. And then the bot lane, your support is getting 2v2 killed as well. I think perhaps had their charge away, their Winter's Assault cancelled by Emilio.
That is a possibility since is not that ability does not make her unstoppable. It's only unslowable, like if the passive is up. Meanwhile,
I've learned that lesson many a time myself on Sejuani, if I'm honest. That ability is, I've never had a dash get blocked more than my Sejuani keys.
okay,
very, very
we got a fight going on. I am very confused since Roche seems to have to flashed.
Oh, flashed away, flash followed by Raz. The speed ups on Emilio. Look at the health bar difference, man. It's just so disgusting. Trundle's only dueling power. But here's Cozy Crab because he's trying to get one back. Sarzu dropped kind of low, but there's not that much damage here anymore. Raz the Kindred, though, very, very nasty with this Tiamat. The flash forwards. The stun comes through. Malphite will fall as well. Cozy Crab, and things have fallen around across the map for Goats for Hire here. I don't want to criticize them too much. It's perhaps a different level of play, but when there's a 50 CS lead in the mid lane, 2-kill lead in the jungle, Raz the Kindred, despite not being on Kindred, still putting in so much work. When you're playing such a snowbally comp as these melee compositions,
Okay,
it's hard to imagine how they're going to be able to get back in the game. Yeah,
but
TP into
no
the mid lane.
ultimate, of course.
Yeah, I think
Sneaky
just wanted to
Chief
pick up that wave.
down XP quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't want to rag on it too much. I said I really respected the Goats for running this composition, but it's going to be not that easy to make it work. You know, I think it's going to be...
Well, they have picked one, like most of the champions that are easiest to execute on their specific roles, but them working together, not actually like looking for counter picks or anything. Meanwhile, Raz is going for another gang onto the top lane.
Meanwhile, Roach got a kill onto Burger King on the cross map. Nicely done by that. As Raz gets, I think that was just a bit of what we were talking about. Didn't even have the unstoppable force, but the infinite duress was there from Roach. I think just sniped onto Burger King's there. Couldn't make anything else. Well, couldn't hope to make their way out of that one. But on the top lane,
now this time it worked out. No flash on the Garen. Capitalized on that.
Yes, indeed. Well, on the bright side, right, Roach is building towards that Blade of the Ruined King. Now, ooh, nice catch by Sneaky Chief there, but great Vindicta just goes down. The burst from Lucian is so insane. The huge flash away from that Cozy Crab Malphite ultimate as well. The culling comes down. The damage isn't quite enough, but you can't stick around this turret. Dash forwards. There's the piercing light. There's the kill. There's the Glacial Prison. It won't be enough.
Oh.
Flash headbutt doesn't quite happen. Sneaky Chief goes down. That is the thing you can do on Sejuani, but only if you connect. I don't think you'd even get the kill if you did land it. So it's really unfortunate.
No, I
to see that.
somehow doubt it since Melio's E should have been up again at this point.
Yeah. Alas, alas, alas. So, heading into this, we're only 11 minutes into the game. I was going to say heading into this mid game, 5k gold lead in favor of Invicta.
Meanwhile, Burger King Slayer is just cheekily gonna grab those wolves.
Yeah, and the question is, what are you going to do about it, right?
Nothing.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to push the wave out with Cozy Crab on this Malphite with a Ruby Crystal and a Chain Vest.
What
Trundle's
is
gonna have no
going on
pushing power.
here?
Oh my god, catch on to Bug Kingslayer, Infinite Duress, the combo comes through, the CC is true, Sneaky Chief does pick that one up for themselves, but Roach almost burns out to the poison, Leandra being complete, suddenly dead. Very, very nice two-man Petrifying Gaze there from Bug Kingslayer, but obviously wasn't able to find anything else off that. Sneaky Chief now not going to be saved by the stopwatch, not saved by the belt unless of course they can find a very nice dive angle, but last impression in the area, has vision, getting that piercing light, already has that Kraken Slayer and a BF sword. So hard to make anything happen.
Yeah, and if you already look at the goal difference, we got almost 6k in favor of Invictus. Of course, with basically all of the lanes being zoned out, except for the Garen, who has been dived twice.
Oh no. It's the worst
Unstoppable
feeling.
Force whiffs again. Flashed again. This time by the top laner.
I mean, very impressive from Invictus to be able to flash all these Malphite ults.
Yeah.
Right? It's a pretty big reaction. It's like a pretty decent reaction test. Like obviously.
But don't forget, he mostly like went for those at max range. It would have been a different thing if he was like in their face already.
They were fairly telegraphed as well. Right?
Yes.
It's what else you can do than walk up and ult you, right? You're already holding down the flash button at that point. As mid turret 5 plates will go over. Sneaky Chief trying to defend it. Last ult attack from Zazu picks it up. The Herald did help out with that one. Meanwhile on top they had Funkel getting dove on, almost taken down. That Divine Judgment is available for Scooper. Will they be able to find the angle? Unfortunately.
No flash. No flash available.
Oh wait, they don't have flash, but yeah. Without flash available, they're not going to be able to find anything. They are going to be able to find a plate though. Scooper, honestly, nicely done up in the top lane. Even if the bot side is losing out a little bit, gotta give some props to this Garen player. Has a couple of deaths still, did get a little bit ganked, but somewhat holding their own. Rest, same cannot be said for the rest of the map, though. Bot lane turret gonna fall just after those plate drops as well. I think top lane turret's gonna get beaten down on pretty bad here by Funkel. It's Score Drinker to no Mythic. It's alright. I was gonna say everyone on Invicta has a Mythic or equivalent versus only
There we go.
Vindicta.
Also, the Milio is moving up. That might be a little courageous there.
It's almost
Okay.
10k gold.
No.
I think Zazu can do almost what he so desires, right? Maybe if Roach had gone for the snap infinite duress, I think they could have maybe got the kill. But even then, you're just killing the admittedly 106 Milio, not touching last impression, and you need to be saving those ultimates in some ways to be able to find the miracle picks. I think it is going to take a miracle for Goats for Hire to be able to close this one out. Not just because of the gold, but because
there goes the Warwick once again.
yeah. Not just because of the gold lead, but because they don't have any ranged wave clear beyond the Sivert, right? And Vindicta just gets chunked out like that. Lucian can just dash in. Doesn't have the culling. Yeah, didn't even use the culling to kill Roach. We'll have it very, very shortly, and you can't defend this turret. You cannot defend this turret. You need to give this one up. Goes for higher, but I don't even know what they do. They just have to keep surrendering, hope one of the missteps just that much as they are like video games. Zazu is picked up. Milio still survives. The flash up from Bone Kingslayer meant that they lived as well. It's 2 dead already. Last impression is surging forwards. Culling did get used. Culling picked up that kill. Bug Kingslayer gonna into under turret. Doesn't even matter. Still a 1 fight for Invicta. I am going to call that one a bit of an end, right? Because you've been playing so well the entire game, Bug Kingslayer. I can say when you're getting a little bit too hypey. Turret was fully revved, but it didn't even matter in terms of winning the fight. They're going to claim this tier 2. They're going to claim this inhibitor. And I think very shortly they're going to claim the game because that fight was a 4 versus 5. Funkel was just in the top side wailing on that turret. It didn't even matter. Funny enough though, this won't be the fastest game we've seen in the AL.
That is correct. I do remember a 12... was it a 12 or 14-minute sweep?
It was like a 14-minute sweep with our favorite... what team was it as well? I think it was a team that was now first in the standings. Which, you know, if anything, it tells you that Goats for Hire can go a lot. I think they actually won that game actually, CTR. So, but it was a CTR match. Who are now obviously looking very, very strong in the standings themselves. I just want to talk about something that's not this absolute domination, Max. There's not much more left to say.
Yeah.
13k at 17 minutes. I usually call games Fiestas if it's a 500 gold a minute lead for a team. This is a 1,000 gold a minute almost lead here for Invicta, and there's not that much gold left to get on the map at this point, honestly. Right? You can't claim that many more turrets. Only thing left to do is take out, the side
Enemy
lanes.
champions.
Yeah, enemy champions. They're not going to be worth very much gold, if I'm honest. Only one with any kills are Roach in the jungle here and Sneaky Chief. And that's
Not the person you want any kills on, to be honest.
Well, I think they should just be happy they got any kills in the first
Yeah,
place,
okay.
I
Go on. You said you didn't want to talk about it.
Nah, we're not gonna do. Look, I don't mean that in like a bad way. I think they should be proud that they got those kills. But first impression is just murdering them. Has maybe been called out infinite. The rest of Roach is one of those
Last
champions with an
impression.
item. Stun, cleansed. It's over, man. The Warwick into even like Warwick having the cleanse. It could be not having the cleanse, having the
Blade of the Ruin King?
suppression. The suppression.
Oh yeah,
available.
it just got cleansed. Oh,
Milio.
okay.
Nice
okay,
one.
there is no dodging that at least.
Yep, Scooper does pick up that kill. Obviously, some point will go over. I think it's going to be a small consolation though. Scooper taken down. Funkel in the middle of 3. This Renekton ain't dying. The level of advantage is just too great. Soaking up all that damage. The flash stun is there. Slice and dice through the entirety of the Goats lineup. Stunned up, only going to temporarily stop their advance. And now you don't have a Sivir and you've got super minions pushing into your base with 3 melees.
You saying Goats like triggered something in me from playing Overwatch.
Oh my
They
god.
are actually very
playing
pro.
Goats.
Yes.
They are playing Goats.
They are playing
They got
Goats.
4 melees. They got Brigitte as well, with Rally.
Oh, yeah.
With Great Vindictor.
Oh,
Also,
no.
similar amount of damage to Brigitte was dealing as well. That hero was disgusting. But unfortunately, new meta has come around. They're playing on the old patch. They're playing in the wrong game, maybe. I wouldn't want to be playing this game if I was them, honestly. It's just a bit of a slaughter. We might see a dance. No, we're not. It's going to be too hard. No
nice.
dancing Shelly. But we are going to see in Nexus turret 1 inhibitor 2 taken.
Okay, I did not realize that before, but I'm not aware of the of the best Sivir build at the moment. Does that include that Static Shift?
Well, I'm not too aware either. I think Static Shiv is... Well, if you're the only wave clear on your team, I think Static Shiv is a pretty good pick. It doesn't mean you delete the waves that... Oh, no.
Oh no, oh no, oh no!
It's a massacre. Dash in. Funkel takes them out, slicing them all to pieces. Flash forwards, last impression, leaving a lasting impression on Sneaky Chief. Running for the hills. Not going to be enough. The stun comes through. Bish, bash, bosh. Funkel finds the play. Salzy, though, maybe going to get called out by Scooper. Did find one execute with that judgment, but it's not going to be enough. Nexus turrets are falling.
It's not
The
enough.
execute isn't there. Nexus will fall, and the game goes over. They do get another kill, back onto last impressions, but the game is surely over. Couple of kills at the end, not KDA players, but still going to win out on that one. Congratulations to the Invicta lineup, and commiserations to the Goats who are...
Well, you can't say they haven't fought
certain.
bravely.
They have definitely fought bravely. I think it's very brave to draft Garen, Malphite, Warwick, Sejuani as 4 bigs. Not even in like a flaming way. It is pretty damn brave to go for it, and unfortunately, their bravery wasn't ultimate enough. But we still got one more match.
We actually got 2 more.
We got 2 more.
Yes.
Oh.
We got Rasen and the boys versus Tribal in the last match of the day at 10.
Well, we have 2 matches coming up then. I lied. I'm a chronic liar. What can I say? But coming up after the break, we've got Lost Nation up against MMM. Team name very long. I can't say it. Tongue twister. But we'll be back after the break. Don't go anywhere. Week 6 of the AL.